I would like to introduce our table topics master for today, Madam MaryJane Sahagun.
Thank you. Thank you, Christopher. Moving on to the table topics portion, which is impromptu speaking. I've prepared some questions. I can't say I prepared them. Actually, Chris prepared them, and I will say that I left his questions at my desk. So I'm going to roll with it, and you...
I spent so much time.
What I was going to say is no one can gainsay my love for travel, nor can they deny that it is one of the most fundamental, life's greatest joys and pastimes. With these questions that I have in front of me, and I'm pulling from my memory, I do have some of these questions listed here. One of which was about a TV show called Survivor.
Amazing Race.
Amazing. And in Amazing Race, you have all these different activities and tasks, and you're running around the world doing different things with a partner. If you could choose one person to take part in the Amazing Race with, here in the Toastmasters Club, who would that partner be and why? And where are you going? What are you doing? And all that other stuff. Atta'ya.
Yes. Perfect.
Thank you for that question. I would have to say that I would probably choose you, Madam Table.
And I chose
Nothing against the rest of you. I love you all. Number 2 might be you. Yes. But MaryJane and I think share a certain drive to get things done and just a shared motivation that comes from within. I'm very competitive, even though I may not show it, but maybe you might think differently. But I am naturally very competitive, and when I used to run track and play sports and things, that's just the way I am. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. It's not competition so much that I care about the other people. It's just I'm gonna win. That's it. So I think that we may share that to some extent. And where would we go? Hopefully all of the places you said earlier, like Bali, Tahiti. I wouldn't even mind Africa, like South Africa or something like that. I'm open to it all. I would love to go everywhere. I want to travel. I have not had the opportunity to do as much of it as I want to, but I believe that my husband and I share a great desire to travel, and he nor those close to me could gainsay my desire to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. I had a feeling you'd say me. Okay. And I want to tell you, as competitive as I am, if water's involved, I can't swim. I don't know how far I'd take us.
We're going.
Down to option number 2. Second question that I think I remember. If money was not an issue, what country would you travel to that is not your native language and is not English speaking? Theresa. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for that question. Madam Tabletop's Master, fellow Toastmasters. Which country, which is not my native language? Well, I only have English as my native language. But I'm sure there are a lot of places I can go, because most places I know speak English as a second language. Let's see, where would I go? There are so many places that I have not been. There are places that I have been, a couple of places. Of course, I've lived in the Philippines for a while. I visited Paris. I visited London. I'd like to go back to Paris because there's still a lot that I didn't see and didn't do. But I believe I would go to, well, of course, I want to go to Africa. I'd like to go there. But I was thinking maybe Italy. I think I'd like to go to Italy. It was one place that I would have liked to have added to my trip when I traveled overseas, but there was just not enough time. I know that I've heard and talked to so many people that have been to Italy that I'm just looking forward to it. I can't say there's any one place or one thing in particular that I'd like to see, because I want to try to take in everything as much as I possibly can. Anyway, Madam Tabletop is Master, I would say that Italy would probably be the first place I would go if I had the money.
You called on me. I stood up and I sat back down. And I agree. Italy is one of my favorite countries, and it's one of those languages that you would never use anywhere else but in Italy. And speaking of excitement over Italy, this next question goes to someone whose response to Theresa's answer, who was really excited about Theresa's answer. Tell me about the most recent big trip you took. What was your favorite memory? Matt.
Thank you, Madam Tabletop Master. My most recent big trip was actually with Chris and a few other people. We went to Europe. So we went to all over the place. We went to Switzerland. There's so many languages we saw in all these places, and Switzerland's a great example because there's no Swiss language. On the west side towards Geneva, or Genève as they say, they speak French, and on the eastern side and in the central area they speak German. I thought that was really interesting. After that we went to Spain, went to Barcelona. I really loved the atmosphere of Barcelona. The people are really laid back. There's always the climate is perfect, and there's also a lot of nightlife if you're into that kind of thing. So it's a great place, and I would definitely recommend that. And we went through to Nice in France, and the Côte d'Azur area. It's very, very beautiful. That was also just amazing, and they have these pebble beaches, and it's not fine sand like you see in California. It's kind of bigger pebbles, which at first we were like, I don't know if I like that, but you don't get sand all over you, so you feel very clean when you walk away, so it's a pretty good thing. And then we went to Italy after that. We went to a coast called Bulgaria, which is a very nice, beautiful place. We went to Florence and Rome, and it was also amazing. I loved Italy. We ended in Italy, but I guess you can kind of consider Vatican City as a separate country, because technically it is. We went there as well. It was just, all of it was really amazing. I've never traveled outside of the United States before, so it was really a great way to start it. And
Yes.
I think Italy is my favorite. If I ever go back to Europe, I'll probably either go somewhere new or go to Italy, maybe a place I haven't gone yet, or southern Spain, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. That was really unfair of me to give you 2 minutes to talk about 18 days of travel. All right. My next question that I have, and all this talk of all these different countries and great things to see, and we're sitting inside of ES4. So you were talking about PTO and how we should really use our PTO, and I believe that the U.S. is one of the more developed countries that does not have certain laws in place or time off set aside. I know that I'm going to Australia on Sunday, FYI, and they go on holiday. They just travel for 2 months. They just take it off. We don't have that here. Should Northrop enact some sort of mandatory vacation plan each year, something along the lines of a month? I don't know. You tell us what we should do. David.
Should it be mandatory? It should. But I don't believe that this company and a lot of other companies will try to make it possible for the employees to just take off. Because a lot of companies, they just look at the bottom line, and if it's not going to benefit them, sorry guys. Now, we all have vacation. I know I have a whole bunch right now, and I really don't take my vacation as I should. But they did enact, I believe, that once you get over 500 hours, I think it is, that you'll start to lose. Well, if they would kind of cut that down to like 200 hours, that would probably force a lot of people to start taking vacation. Because if I could go ahead and accumulate my time, which I have, I'm almost at the max right now. I would not be that way if I had only 200 hours to take. So I think we should, but I know that will never happen.
Thanks, Steve. We could always dream and hope and will it to happen. I do owe our Toastmaster one question. He wanted the role of Table Topics Master. So I'm going to ask you, Christopher. Delta has an around-the-world deal, 6 stops, one way, one direction. I don't know how much it costs, $1,000, it's worth it. What 6 countries, one way, would you visit to add to your, total of 12 countries you've been to? 15?
I don't know.
All right, tell us about your one way around the world trip. 6 stops. 60 seconds, go.
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna pick 6 cities. I'm not gonna try and make it feasible, right? Because if you go here, and you zigzag, it's probably gonna be more expensive. So, 6 cities. I would go to Brussels, go to Belgium. I would go to Budapest, which is in Hungary. I'd go to Vienna, which is in Austria. I would go to probably Buenos Aires, which is in Argentina. And, I should throw an Asian country in there. You know what? I'd like to go to like a fishing village in Japan where I can't even pronounce the city and where no one speaks English, and I can get a feel of that sort of culture. I think that we talked about all of the different aspects of travel, right? And about how you want to go explore. And I would want to do all of that. I love every aspect of travel. I love talking about all of these aspects of travel with people. And so probably going from west to east, do it that way, make it the cheapest destination, end in Japan and fly back to LA is I think the 6 cities that I would go to.
LA?
Coming back out of LA and coming back into LA. I did 6.
You did 5.
I did 6. I did 5?
You did 5.
Shoot, okay. One more.
Africa?
One more.
Middle East? Australia? No.
Australia. New Zealand. Oh, the capital. I don't know the capital of New Zealand.
I'll be in Auckland.
Auckland? I'd go to Auckland. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope that made up for gainsaying you the opportunity to be the Table Topics Master. I had a little bit too much fun with the table topics, so we'll go ahead and cut that short. Move on to the evaluation portion. I'm the general evaluator, and we'll go ahead and start with speech evaluations. I'm going to go ahead and welcome our first speech evaluator, Mr. Martin Goecki, who's going to evaluate Bruno Dieseldorf.
All right. Expect